Right, here is essentially the problem with the first law of thermodynamics, the law of the conservation of energy. It sounds to me like a relativistic vector, relativistic space logical fallacy, and here's why. To use an example, to use a few examples, the first being our skeletons, the fact that they change form, literally transform every 7 to 10 years, and the previous form no longer exists. Relativistically speaking, they have been destroyed. The previous form has been destroyed and a new form has taken their place. Non-relativistically speaking, the previous, in the case of a quantum temporal world line or hour of time, the older previous forms of our skeleton still exist, but in a relativistic space, in a relativistic vector, they don't. And it's the same with the caterpillar, to the chrysalis, to the butterfly. Relativistically speaking, in a relativistic vector space, the caterpillar had to be destroyed in order for the butterfly to now exist. But if you think of it non-relativistically, in a quantum temporal world line sense, the butterfly still exists, and so does the caterpillar. So to say that energy can neither be created nor destroyed, it can only transform, sounds like a logical fallacy. Because if you think about in the early universe, there existed a force called the electroweak force, the electroweak field. Now, if I'm not mistaken, that doesn't exist anymore in the present universe. Back in the early universe, the electroweak force split into two. It split into the electromagnetic force and the weak nuclear force. And that energy, now relativistically speaking, that energy was destroyed in the transformative process. Non-relativistically speaking, electroweak still exists. Go back far enough in time, in quantum time, and back far enough in a non-relativistic quantum temporal vector space and a quantum temporal world line, back in time, back far enough in the hour of time in the quantum temporal world line of that particular energy and force and field, you will find electroweak back in the early universe. But the fact that it now no longer exists, relativistically speaking, it now exists in its transformed states or types or forms, electromagnetism and weak nuclear, it had to be destroyed in that transformative process, relativistically speaking. It may still exist in a non-relativistic quantum temporal world line frame of reference, but it doesn't exist anymore in a relativistic world line frame of reference. Just like our skeletons, now our new or current skeletons destroyed our previous ones in order to exist themselves. And like the caterpillar had to be destroyed in the transformative process in the chrysalis to become the butterfly. So am I right or am I wrong? Am I wrong in thinking that the law of the conservation of energy sounds like a relativistic logical fallacy? Or is it just me?